Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for whenever you're finding it. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this will be for the week of July 22nd through the 28th, 2024. First card out for you is attachment. Okay, I am seeing lingering feelings that are really strong towards someone in your life. I don't know why I'm feeling like resentment. I'm wondering if you're feeling resentment towards any family member or ex or person from your past or something like that that may be coming through. And there's something to learn from this energetic attachment that you still have. There's still something within what happened, whatever argument or misunderstanding you had, within whatever it is that angered you in the first place. There's something for you to still learn there. And that is why the emotions still linger on, okay? So that is a message for you. We have rest and rejuvenation in reverse. Now this comes out when you need rest, you need rejuvenation, and Spirit's trying to say, like, take a nap. Literally take a nap, relax, go to a sauna, hot tub, something like that. Like, give yourself time to rest, because a lot of you may be overworking yourself or overdoing it. I'm seeing someone here watching maybe overdoing it at the gym or overdoing it with their body, and your body's trying to heal. Maybe you injured a certain muscle or ligament or joint or something like that, and it needs time to recover. You know, Spirit is saying you can be active, you can be productive while also just giving it a break, resting, relaxing, you know? You're doing so much more than you realize. And then we have victory coming out in reverse. Yeah, you know, a lot of times when someone pushes themselves beyond the limitations of their body, mind, and soul, it's because there is a sense here of not having succeeded enough or not having achieved what you want to achieve yet. And Spirit would say, like, these things take time. Everything that is meant for you will find you, and you have to trust in that, like, deeply to the core of your being. Like, if it's meant to be, it'll be, and it'll happen when it happens. And all you can do is take aligned action when you have the energy, the motivation, and inspiration to do that, you know what I mean? And if you don't have that currently and you need a moment of rest, a moment of reprieve, give yourself that. You know, you don't have to always be on time. You don't always have to just be this perfect person who's always there, always working hard, always on top of things. Sometimes we just need to be a bum and eat chips on the couch, you know? So we're gonna get 9 cards for you. We have the Knight of Cups coming out as your first card, and I am getting a sort of romantic tingling sensation, if that makes sense. Some of you may be having a little crushy crush on someone. Feelings for someone that you can't shake. Okay, I am sensing that sort of energy. Let's see. We have, oh my gosh, the Ace of Cups right next to that. Holy moly, yeah. Wow, powerful feelings. Powerful, powerful feelings. And I am seeing you reaching out, and I'm seeing a conversation actually being had for some of you. If you're single, for example, you may be telling someone exactly what you want and setting, like, sort of healthy boundaries with that. Like, you know what? I don't want to share my body with anyone that isn't serious about me or who isn't wanting a serious connection, a serious relationship. And you know what? I feel like this is a random message, and I never thought I would be getting this sort of message come up in readings if you asked me like 5 years ago, where I feel like the collective is sort of nudging a lot of people at this time in history to not sharing their body with anyone and everyone. And you know what? It's interesting because a few years ago I felt like the vibe was so different, like sexual liberation and, you know, enjoying your body essentially and connecting with people in a deep way, even if you aren't super duper close with them. Like, I felt like that was more accepted, and I feel the shift happening in the culture, the universe, this spirit, where a lot of people are not necessarily becoming more conservative, like in a religious context, like, oh, I'm going to save myself till marriage, but more so like, I don't want to share the more vulnerable and beautiful parts of myself, whether that's sexuality, whether that is, you know, your deepest stories and traumas. You don't want to just share that with anyone. And whereas in the past that was very supported in readings, in the universe, it felt like, you know, as a collective, we kind of needed to show more of that vulnerability. But the tides are changing, and now a lot of people, after doing that, are wanting to sort of shift and only share that with people who are special. So I don't know why that message is coming through. Maybe some of you may be having a conversation with somebody about that, like, hey, you know, yeah, I want to pursue something here, but, you know, I want to take things slow. I want to really make it special and slowly share these vulnerabilities with each other. And it's very interesting because I also noticed that in the culture right now, with book talk, I don't know if any of you are part of like the book part of internet, a lot of people are getting really heavily involved in these sort of fantasy romance novels and things like that. And in a lot of these fantasy romance novels, there's like a really strong buildup. Like, they don't just bang immediately. They don't just like admit feelings immediately. You know, there's always like a period of flirtation and like a slow burn energy. And I feel like that is what I'm seeing in the collective more of now, Aries, like this sort of slow burn, like let's slowly let this simmer and boil over when it boils over. So I'm seeing a sort of romance like that. Now, if you're not interested in romance right now, I'm sorry for, you know, going off on this tangent. Some of you may literally just be reading some romance novels or watching romantic movies as well. That can also be what this message is about. But I'm also seeing a lot of creativity, like creative build up. And I don't know if anyone's like this. If you're somebody who's very creative, which I feel like a lot of Aries people are very creative, and you take a break from creating for a while, like even if it's just a week, you come back with such a refreshed energy, like just ready to go and creating things nonstop. And I am seeing that sort of return to creativity as well this week. Oh gosh. We have the 9 of Swords upright. I started pre-laying out the cards so that way I don't keep dropping them on the ground, and I almost dropped this one on the ground somehow. And yeah, you know, this is, you know, overthinking a situation, getting caught up in your feelings, caught up in confusion. I feel like a lot of people are no longer willing to sit in this 9 of Swords energy anymore. You know, if the vibes aren't there, I'm not chasing it anymore. You know, if a relationship is confusing, I'm not trying anymore. If I don't feel good about a certain friendship or relationship, I'm not giving any energy to it anymore. I feel like the collective is heading towards that no nonsense type of like, if it's work, if being in a relationship or a friendship is hard work, I'm not doing it. And, you know, I know everyone says like relationships are work, whatever. Honestly, if I could be real with you, the good ones aren't. They aren't. I mean, work in the sense of like, if I have an issue, I'm going to communicate about it. And if you have an issue, you're going to communicate about it, and we're going to compromise and find a middle. If you consider that work, I guess that would be work. I don't consider that work. I just consider that having healthy emotions. I feel like it only becomes work when one or both people have not done the work that they need to do on themselves to have a healthy relationship. But other than that, good relationships, good friendships, they're not really work. I gotta be honest with you. They really aren't. Controversial opinion, but I mean, yeah, the work that you should be doing is on yourself. And I feel like in healthy relationships, you both inspire and encourage each other to do that self-work. That's where the work comes in. It's not like, oh, I'm going to work to force this relationship to work or force the other person to treat me right. No, that's not what the work is. When people say, oh, marriage is hard, whatever. No, it shouldn't be hard. I gotta be honest, it shouldn't be hard. Like, hard in the sense that it's challenging you to grow and be inspired. Sure, yeah. But like hard in the fact that like, oh, my spouse abuses me and treats me like crap or forgets my birthday or is racist or homophobic or whatever. No, that's not the work that they're talking about. You know, work is in like, I have to pull teeth trying to get this man or woman to, you know, remember that I exist. No, that's not the work we're talking about. And those are the types of attachments that we need to release this week. Okay, the ones that cause this sense of like feeling ugh. Like if someone in your life makes you feel ugh, then it's time to let them go, you know? We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And oh my gosh, this is so weird that this came out because we were literally just going off on that rant about how in the collective, I'm feeling like a lot of people are like sort of saving this more passionate, vulnerable side of themselves for later and not in a conservative, religious way. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, blocked. Like I am blocking my own sexual energies. I will not have sex with you until we are I know for a fact that like you're going to be committed to me or this isn't going anywhere. I'm not going to reveal the most vulnerable parts of myself until I know that for a fact. You know, for example, if you have children, I'm not introducing you to them children until like I know you're here to stay. If I have like deep-rooted trauma, I'm not sharing that with you until I know you're a trustworthy person who isn't gonna just disappear from my life and you're gonna stay here with me. You know what I mean? Those parts of ourselves we should really, really save and should not necessarily give away freely in our personal relationships. Now, it's a little bit different when you're in like professional settings. Like I share everything with you guys, but I'm not expecting a deep relationship back from you. So it's a little different. You know, whereas if I met any of you in person and I really liked you and liked talking to you, I'm not going to share these more vulnerable parts of myself until trust has been built. Okay, and trust takes time to build. So I feel like with the Ace of Wands in reverse, some of you are literally consciously not like blocking your own sexual energies or sexual drive. Like you may really want to bang someone, for example, but you're like, I'm not doing that until like these emotions really flow. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's like, you know, like if it's serious, if it's good, then we'll do that. But I don't want to do that anytime prior. Another thing I'm seeing here is if you still have feelings for anyone from your past, with the attachment card here, I feel like you are trying to block your the sexual urge you may have towards them. Okay, not trying to get into a sticky situationship with them, you know. We have the World in reverse here. Yeah, okay, there's definitely some attachments that need to be released, let go of. And I feel like you already know who this is, what this is. Like you are very well aware, like, okay, I should really let go of this thing or this person this week. And I feel some finality in that. You know, some of you may really be over a certain friendship or relationship or attachment, genuinely over it. Like you really don't want it anymore. And so you're sort of letting that go. Yeah, yep, exactly. Judgment in reverse. This is letting go of something that you have a long history with. So this would be like a friendship or relationship or thing that you were involved with, hobby, habit, whatever, that you've had for at least a few years is what I'm saying. Like you have a history here with this person or this thing. And you're making the judgment call, you know what, it's better to be left in the past. I don't really see a future here with this person. I'm letting go of this attachment, okay? Beautiful week ahead. And as you're releasing those attachments, new romance or creative projects and very fulfilling emotions are coming through. Very beautiful. And I see you practicing strong boundaries here, good boundaries here with your sexual and creative essence, you know, not sharing the deepest parts of you with just anyone and anything. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.